Welcome back, everybody. Greg Ehrenberg here from OddsShopper and the NBA. It's back in our lives. We had about a week off due to the NBA All-Star break, so I enjoyed my time off. Didn't really do a whole lot over the last few days, but got to relax, recharge the batteries, and did have a good time with my time off work. And hopefully you guys were able to make some money on other sports, or maybe restrained and were not degenerates and didn't bet on anything. Seems unlikely, but who knows? Maybe some of you guys did that. As you come in, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are about to break down some more NBA bets, and I'm taking some big swings today. I've got a bunch of plus money bets that I'm going to be breaking down for you guys in a second here. But before we get into that, I also want to mention to you guys that we have our premium betting Discord channel. So if something comes about like the NBA All-Star break, where I'm not going to be posting videos, there's often going to be other stuff that I'm betting on. Like I did bet on the NBA All-Star game, or not the NBA All-Star game, the NBA Skills Challenge. I'd posted a bet on it was for Mac McClung to win the dunk contest. Unfortunately, living in New Jersey, it was something I was not able to bet on personally, but it was something I had a pretty good read on. I thought that he was fairly likely to win. So I posted on our Discord channel and said, hey guys, I think that Mac McClung plus money is something that makes sense to bet on for the NBA All-Star game, because he was more or less kind of like a professional dunker. If you guys have ever seen Mac McClung in his YouTube page. So he ended up showing out, ended up winning. So stuff like that, I could provide value to you guys. And then I've also been trying to post some stuff like hockey and college basketball bets. So we have some new tools over at our website to help find best values in some other sports outside of just NBA. So other stuff that's involved as well. If you guys want access to our Discord channel, 1 week for 50% off when you sign up using the link below. So once again, hope you guys had a great All-Star break. We're back to action here. Here are my favorite NBA bets for Thursday. Back to the NBA. So guys, we did it. Books are not posting Walker Kessler over 1.5 blocks anymore. Those days are a thing in the past. We no longer get that prop on the board, but we've got 2.5 over-under for his blocks today with good plus money on the over. Walker Kessler, he's been a print fest for us as of late. I think, what is it, like 4 or 5 times in a row we bet Walker Kessler over 1.5 blocks and he came through for us. Well, good news. I'm taking stabs at over 2.5 blocks now because of the plus money we're getting on him. He is over under 2.5 blocks is plus 145, and we've got him project for 3.2 blocks over in our projections. And if you look at some of the numbers on Walker Kessler, he's just been such a good shot blocker since moving into the Utah Jazz starting lineup, and has only gotten better as the season has gone on as well. He's coming off a game where he had 3 blocks against the Memphis Grizzlies, and that was a fun game for us because we did have him for over 1.5 blocks, and he was at 0 with 4 minutes left in the game, and then blocked 3 shots in over, a couple minutes span there. But we've seen a handful of these games from him. Actually, he's had 3 or more blocks in 3 out of his last 6 games. He's had 3 or more blocks in 5 out of his last 8 games. And once again, we're getting really good plus money odds on something that he's been doing like 50% of his starts as of right now. So Walker Kessler, he was our guy heading into the All-Star break. Coming out of the All-Star break, I'm going right back to him. Higher number, but I like the plus money. Over 2.5 blocks for Walker Kessler. If you guys are coming out of the All-Star break and want to make some money, just go sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook using the link we have below, because this is a really simple way to make $150. You sign up using that link, and then the first $5 bet you place pays out $150 as long as that team wins. So you have to bet a money line. It has to be a $5 bet, and it could be anything on the board, any kind of money line. So I just looked at all the college basketball lines, and here's the team that's most likely to win tonight. St. Mary's. College basketball, minus 3,500 favorite. You're normally going to have to bet $35 just to win $1. But with this offer, bet $5 on St. Mary's, and when they win tonight, it is paying out $150. It is that easy. Just when you sign up, make sure to use the link that we have below for DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you're anybody you know has a gambling problem, call or text the number 1-800-GAMBLER. Jakob Poeltl is back in Toronto, and we're about to see him play really big minutes in the second half of the season. And his minutes were up and down with the Spurs, but they're a tanking team. They weren't really committed to playing all of their guys' massive minutes. And then also just foul trouble pops up from time to time when it comes to Jakob Poeltl. So that's always going to be something that could be somewhat of an issue. But we know how Nick Nurse runs his rotations. That is, everybody gets run into the ground, basically. All his starters play as many minutes as they could possibly handle, unless there's an injury or some sort of foul trouble. And we saw that last game from Jakob Poeltl. He played 37 minutes last game. It was his most minutes played in any game of the entire season. And no coincidence that it was his 3rd game with the Raptors. So 3 games with the team since being traded. First one, just getting acclimated to the team, comes off the bench. Wouldn't put too much stock into that game, plays 17 minutes. Second game, plays 25 minutes in his first start with the team, but that was a game where he fouled out. Then last game We saw him get into a little bit of foul trouble, but didn't foul out, and he played 37 minutes. So that's what I think we're getting from Poeltl going forward, is close to 40-ish minutes in games that are competitive, especially when you consider where the Toronto Raptors are in the standings right now. So now you look at the numbers overall for Poeltl this year. He's playing 26 minutes per game and averaging 8.9 rebounds. His over-under for rebounds tonight is 7.5. Not only do I love the over on that, I like laddering some of the alternate lines as well. We've actually done this with Poeltl, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, something like that, when I thought his minutes were going to start to pick up with the San Antonio Spurs. And I think this is another good spot to do it. You could get numbers on him like plus 600 for 12-1, for 12 or more rebounds over on FanDuel. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking the over 7.5, and then I'm taking all of the ladders as high as they'll go as well, because I think there's immense upside in the rebound props here for Jakob Poeltl. So 7.5 in the over is clearly the safest bet, but I like the upside in some of the alternate lines as well. But Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 rebounds, that's the official bet right here. And now my final bet to bring us out of the All-Star break. Like I said, I've got a lot of plus money bets that I'm going to be putting up today. And the final one is over 2.5 3-pointers by Tyrese Haliburton. This is another plus money bet. Could be had for plus 120 over on DraftKings. And Haliburton's been just a really high volume, kind of everything for the Pacers this year, actually. And one of the main reasons they've been involved in the play-in mix when most people thought they were going to be a tanking team heading into the season. One of the reasons that they also ended up signing Miles Turner to a contract extension is because they're more competitive this year than expected. And a big reason why is because Tyrese Haliburton is one of the most improved players we have in the NBA, averaging 20 points, 10 assists, and 3 threes made per game in the first half of the season. And that's where I think plus money on over 2.5 threes is just a misprice. We saw Haliburton, like I said, average 3 threes per game in the first half of the season. He's a tough matchup tonight against the Boston Celtics, but for the Pacers to compete against Boston, the team that they're outgunned against on paper, they're going to need a lot of three-point variance, and that's where players like Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin off the bench, I think we're going to see these guys take more three balls than we would normally see, because that's just how you introduce more variance into a game when you're playing a team that you're not expected to beat on paper. And that's something I think we're going to be getting from Haliburton today. So as long as getting plus money on over 2.5 threes, I view this as pretty close to a 50-50 bet, because that's what we've seen from about half his games this year. He's had 3 or more threes, and now we're getting plus money on that over. I like that kind of value. So over 2.5 threes for Haliburton. If later on the day we're no longer getting plus money, I would say that should be a pass, but at least as of now, I bet it and locked it in at the plus 120 odds. So Tyrese Haliburton over 2.5 threes, my final bet of the day. So recapping today's bets, and a lot of plus money action. Walker Kessler over 2.5 blocks, Tyrese Haliburton over 2.5 threes, and then I've Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 rebounds, but also I did some ladders on the overs there, so still found a way to make that into some plus money wagers as well. So a little bit riskier today, but we got that itch. NBA is back. It's been a week off, and I do like all of these plays. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know about that below in the comment section. I'll be answering any questions you have. Also, before you leave, do me a big favor, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Good luck. Happy to see NBA is back.